21 Pilots forces the fan base to think, which, I mean, is one of the band's goals. Just listen to car radio. And the band makes their fans think a lot in terms of the Dima storyline and just coming up with these connections, these tie-ins, trying to put all of these puzzle pieces together, dropping a puzzle piece for it being lost for weeks, then you find again only to discover it's the wrong piece to the puzzle. I'm really tired. You have some lore thoughts, feelings, and hot takes. Let's get right into it. Good morning, good afternoon, or good night, depending on when you're watching this. How's it going, guys? First off, hope you're having a good day today. Hope it is going well and hope it continues to go well. Welcome back to the 21 Pilot Hot Take series, the second to last one for now. Then this will go on a little hiatus for a bit until I run out of things to talk about. Again, then this will pop back up, but it'll give the hot take mind some chance to recover. But if you want to submit a hot take to the hot take forum, which will be linked down in the description box and below as well as the pinned comments, feel free to do so. Next week we're going to focus on all the miscellaneous stuff. So Tyler, Josh, the live show, eras, so on and so forth. It doesn't fit in any other categories. However, if you still have a song, album, or lore hot take, feel free to submit those also, because all the leftover ones will be read in the live stream at the end of next week. So without further ado, here are your lore hot takes, but first off, we're starting off with a reminder that was submitted. Fans tend to forget that the lore is only there to service the message and the story, and will say songs aren't about deeper things than the lore. The music is made about other things, and the lore is just a metaphor of sorts. Vessel, Blurryface, and Trench are from Tyler Joseph's perspective, while Skeleton Icy is the only album from Clancy's perspective. The next album will be from both of their perspectives. For whatever reason, Clancy has always been in Dima and looks like Tyler, and Tyler arrived to Trench and Dima during the hiatus. I feel like a lot of people would agree with this if you would flip who the albums were about, whether you say Vessel, Blurryface, and Trench are from Clancy's perspective, because in saying the Skeleton Icy from Tyler's perspective, because the whole Clancy is dead narrative sort of thing, then you get the people who are one and the same. But I do like this. I'm not the person who submitted the hot take that Tyler is Nico last time, but I've had similar idea for a while. I think Clancy and Nico are both manifestations of Tyler's eternal conflict. I mean, he created this world to feel some control, destroy it if he wants to. This one is bold. NED/Voltsoy are an illusion. The only reason I'm against this is because that would make a little plot hole and would extend, not a little plot hole, but just kind of like there's the outside music video is now pointless and there would be no meaning unless, it was all a dream sort of thing, which I do not like that, even though they do talk about sleep a lot. But and also, like, then the horns would be a useless thing. We already got the diagram for that. We got the journals talking about it. So I don't think that Voltsoy nor Ned are illusions. I think they're actual things within the Dima lore, Dima storyline, location, and creature. Lore hot take and next album predictions. I think next album is going to be centered around spring. I think there might be a lot to do with butterflies as well. I think next album is going to be focused around new life and starting over. Colors will be orange and purple. When it comes to the lore, I don't think they'll end up defeating the bishops. If the bishops really represent depression, anxiety, and loneliness and all that good stuff, then I don't think they can be defeated at all. It's not realistic. I think the Dima storyline will end open-ended or end with the Banditos and the Bishops making some kind of a deal, like a truce. The live stream experience was a figment of Tyler's imagination because at the beginning he was frozen on the couch for Goodnight Dima, so it could be him daydreaming about rebelling against Dima and the Bishops. 100% I absolutely thought this too. I think I have a couple videos on the channel talking about it in 2021. Oh boy, that was 2 years ago. I don't want to think about that, but I definitely think this too. I mean, the only reason I would think against is just because of the one Clancy journal we get. Show day, they dressed me up and asked me to smile for my poor attempts at hiding sleep deprivation. It was so colorful, as if compensating for the grace of the city. It was a blur. Before I knew it, it was over and I was back in my cell. I can only remember fragments, only blurred hallucinations of color and chaos, like a dream. So, whether that be for or against this idea. Possibly against, I don't know. Tired, but I like this because I think the same way. They shouldn't have made Ned canon, in my opinion. Should have stuck to the realistic world of Trench and Dima. But the problem is, people kept making Ned part of the lore, so I think Tyler and Josh were like, well, let's just make it in there. And Tyler said that Ned initially wasn't a part of the lore, but he did say in that same interview clip that Ned could find a way to weasel himself in there, and he did. Ain't that right, buddy? I just realized this. They perform Level Concerned on the outside with Ned, and in the outside music video, there's Ned's. And also a lot of people will tie this into that's where Ned went missing. He was let outside and Ned ran away. Ain't that right, buddy? Not everything they do is lore related. My theory hot take is that Clancy is dead and Tyler took his name. That is why in his last letters talks about the television show and stuff. And maybe Clancy is just the name that many people take. Tyler took his name to commemorate his life and don't celebrate his death. I'm excited for the final chapter of the Demon narrative and to see how Tyler incorporates it into the new era. One thought I had, I wonder if Tyler will stop using the black on his neck and hands after the next era, since presumably he will either defeat the bishops or at least have more power over the control Blurryface has on him. When you're dealing with mental health issues, it's hard to overcome depression, anxiety, fears, insecurities completely, but maybe Tyler will resolve the demon narrative by defeating Nico and calling a truce with some of the other bishops. Keon's ultimately became an ally, so maybe some of the others will help Tyler overthrow Nico and transform what Dima represents. Here's a random theory I have. I think a lot of people want the new studio album to release sometime this year, but what if they release it next year in 2024? The reason I say this is because in 2024, it will be the band's 15th anniversary. Josh confirmed the Torchbearer at the start of the next tour. Clancy is a full character on the tour. Technically, Josh was confirmed the Torchbearer all the way back in Bandito Tour and how he would open with the torch. As far as Clancy, full character on the tour, and enter the argument of Tyler is Clancy, and Clancy has always been a character on the stage shows, or somewhat like that, yes. In the hype music video, Tyler literally has a screen on his chest. Okay, so this is how I see the music videos in chronological order. Heavy Dirty Soul, jumpsuit, choker. Choker acts as a dream of Tyler's when Nico is dragging him, like we see in the jumpsuit music video. Then it's Heathens representing Tyler going to Dima. Nico and the Niners levitate Psy live stream. I'm adding that because it's basically a long music video. Saturday, then finally, the outside. The more I hear about what Tyler confirmed in the Zane Lowe interview for Psy, the more I think, man, he sure revealed a whole lot. I believe that the new album era color could be purple or green. Purple is the complementary / opposite color to yellow, Trench, which could signify the end of Dima and the end of being contained within Trench. Or it could be green, which is the middle color of yellow and blue, Psy, maybe signifying that the escape was not successful and now they're stuck in a space between Trench and the desired place. I personally think that in Nico and the Niners, when Tyler says rent a racehorse and force a sponsor and start a concert complete diversion, he is talking about the live stream experience, but that is just my opinion. So I thought this too in 2021 before the live stream experience happened, to which many people yelled at me saying, no, it was like the concert that happened over in the UK, a complete diversion, which is a real concert that did happen. A lot of people will also point to the Suicide Squad movie with Heathens because they're literally in a prison, which was a spot which, of course, they wrote for Suicide Squad, so people could look at that as a sponsor. They started a concert, the prison, the complete diversion, and everyone got out of there. but I see the live stream experience in the same way. So I do like this because the live stream experience had sponsors and there was a complete diversion at the very end, which people were running away from. I'm still mad about that. Glowing eyes is part of the Dima lore, the eyes being the bishops. But keep in mind, this was made before Tyler wanted to leave Dima and was still ignorant. You can't prove me wrong, just listen to this. But do I want to say goodbye to all the glowing eyes? I'm holding on to what I know, and what I know I must go, but I would rather play a song for the eyes to sing along. So, with the Vessel 10th anniversary vinyl coming, with the bonus tracks of the Vessel songs being Glowing Eyes included, I think that is a little retcon of, yeah, no, we're tying these 4 songs into the Dima lore, because you got Forest in there, which a lot of people will tie that to the lore as well. So Glowing Eyes, definitely. And so I can't prove you wrong on that. My theory is that since Dima takes place in a godless world, Trench Inside didn't have as explicit lyrics about faith in God, and since the next album is supposedly the end of Dima, more songs on their next album will be more explicit about faith, and possibly Dima will end with Tyler and Clancy finding or rediscovering faith or finding a world with God. I also like to think the theory that Dima will not be defeated. Dima will not be defeated at the end of the album, but Tyler's faith might make it easier to cope with Dima and the bishops. So a couple things. Number one, it's confirmed end of the Dima storyline. That's confirmed by Tyler in the Zane Lowe interview. Secondly, I don't know how I feel about this, because, like, we're already in a godless world, so to find faith, they would either need to start their own religion, make their own god, or they would need to teleport to another world where there is a religion and a god figure in here. Because in the godless world of Trench, I don't think it's going to be a possibility unless they do start something. I don't know here. But, I mean, the idea of, like, faith can help cope with it is possibly an open-ended ending you can have. They could allude to of, like, just, like, stuff, like positive things that could make you cope with the mental health stuff, such as faith in a religion. Me and my friend were arguing about if Clancy and Tyler are the same person, and he brought up a good point on why the My Blood music video doesn't fit into the storyline. He says because it's like a metaphor for Tyler and Clancy. What do you think? Honestly, that's the best way to fit the My Blood music video into the Dima storyline, because without it, it kinda doesn't fit within it. It's a very confusing music video if you try to shove it into the lore in any way, so that's the best possible reasoning I can think of. Well, you and your friend thought of. The lore is kind of boring and not that unique. A place run by bad guys, good guys start a rebellion, main character tries to escape a lot, cute sidekick, etc. I mean, it's typical hero's journey stuff. I mean, nothing is really that original anymore. I mean, let's face it, Harry Potter is just a repackaged wizard version of Star Wars. Doctor Strange, the first one, is just a mythical repackaging of Iron Man. The sequels to Star Wars, I call them the postquels, the ones with Rey, Kylo, the worst character of all time, my girlfriend has a mad crush on Adam Driver, is just a ripoff of the original trilogy. Nothing's original. Jason Statham, Pet Cheetah, deserves to be an important part of the lore. But I don't know where I would tie that Jason in. I don't know where Tyler and Josh would tie Jason in unless, like, they go to Dima, open up Tyler's basement, and just the cheetah pops out and just starts going ham on the bishops and such. And finally, Ned does not exist. And that brings us to the end of the second to last episode of the Hot Take series before it goes on hiatus. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. And like I said, you can still submit stuff to the Hot Take form. Next week, we're going to go focus on the miscellaneous stuff, and then all the leftovers we read in a live stream the following Friday. I'm tired. going to go to bed. I'm editing this. I've been up since 5:30 this morning. It's currently 12:30 at night. Standing on my feet most of the day, running sounds and other stuff. Yeah, I'm tired. See you tomorrow. Goodbye. And good night. More importantly, have a good day, and I'll see you later.